Hi guys and welcome back to our What If series here on Football Manager 2018, having a look at how certain candidates would get on if they received the nod from the Rangers board to take over the vacant manager's position. Today we're looking at, as you can see by the title there, Barry Ferguson. A bit of a sentimental one this for the Rangers fans. I wanted to throw Barry Ferguson in there. I mean, although I'm a Celtic fan, I have listened to some of Barry's punditry and comments on football, and I like the way he talks, quite frankly, about kids being overcoached and all that kind of thing. So I figured I'd want to throw him in here and see how he gets on at his old club. So eagle-eyed viewers will already notice he is still in the position, unlike Ali McCoist from our last episode. He finishes second, we can see in the league, but let's actually have a look at it and see how he gets on. Stages, league table. So he finishes on 71 points, 22 behind Celtic, but they finished on 93, only losing one game, so they were a completely unrealistic target. But he finishes on the 71 there, and he actually had a horrible run towards the end, so it could have actually been closer. He could have done better if not for that terrible run at the end there. Possibly he's rotated the team already, knowing that they weren't going to catch Celtic and they weren't going to be caught in their own right. So let's, without further ado, let's have a little look at his schedule and see how he got on. See how he got on the other competitions. So he starts okay. I mean, he goes out to Sturm Graz there in the second round of the qualifiers after beating Bangor City. Wins a couple of friendlies, starts off well, beats Motherwell, beats Partick, beats Hibs, beat Hearts, then he draws at County, draws at home to Dundee, loses at Partick, bounces back in the quarter-final of the Betfred Cup by beating St Johnstone, loses at home to Celtic, goes away and beats Hamilton, loses away at St Johnstone, so he's very kind of inconsistent at the moment. Not getting a run of good results, but also not getting bogged down by a run of bad results, which is something. Then he goes and beats Hibs at Hampden in the semi-final of the Betfred Cup. Draw at home to Killie, draw away at Hearts, loses at Ibrox against Partick, but then the team seem to get their act together. As you can see down here, they beat Hamilton, they win away at Dundee, then they go back to Hampden, and it's an Eduardo Herrera goal there that actually wins him the Betfred Cup. So a trophy actually for Barry Ferguson here in the Betfred Cup. Very good, and then you can see that kicks them on a hell of a run. They don't lose again until April. That's November. They don't lose again until April. That's insane. So they go on, beat Aberdeen, beat County, beat Hibs, beat St Johnstone, beat Aberdeen, beat Killie, draw at home to Motherwell, but get a draw at Parkhead. They were actually 2-0 down to Sinclair and Dembele. Sviatchenko gets sent off, and then Herrera and Morelos with a goal each gets him a 2-2 draw. Beat East Fife, as you would expect, in the Cup. Then they beat Aberdeen, beat County, beat Partick, beat Hibs in the Cup, beat Hamilton, draw at home at Hearts, beat St Johnstone in the Cup quarter-final, draw at home to Celtic, another 2-2 there. This time they were 2-0 up and Celtic pegged them back, so tit for tat there with the old firm. Kilmarnock, Kenny Miller getting a goal there. Kilmarnock, they win away at Motherwell, they win at home to Dundee, but then semi-final of the Scottish Cup, they actually beat Celtic on penalties. And they actually, Moussa Dembele was giving Celtic the win until Lee Wallace in the 88th minute rescues it and then scores again in extra time. Johnny Hayes rescues Celtic in the 120th, but when they go to penalties, Rangers prevail, which brings back some painful memories to me. Then the split kicks in, they beat Hearts, get off to a good start, but then they lose to Aberdeen, they lose to Killie, they lose to Dundee, they lose to Celtic, then they hit the Cup final, and they lose to Hearts on penalties. So they got to the Cup final on penalties against Celtic. They lose in the final on penalties to Hearts. And you have to wonder, the form here, does that contribute to them performing below par in the final? Because if you look back at their previous final, they went into that one on the back of two good results. Okay, they'd lost to Partick there and got 2 draws previously, but they got 2 good results, had a clean sheet. They went into that, kept the clean sheet, and obviously Eduardo Herrera gave them the win there. But a cup for Barry Ferguson and a final and second place. I think Rangers fans would take that in real life. It certainly reflects well on him here, I would say. Look at his transfers, what he's done. He's brought in Jay Fulton from Swansea on loan. And he has got on superbly if we look at this. Attribute masking's in play just now, but let's just bear with that there. We all know what kind of player Jay Fulton is. So he's been a 7.16 there. You can look him up in your own game if you don't know his stats in particular. Billy Crellin comes in from Fleetwood. He's just an okay backup goalkeeper. He's a youth player. He's not going to do much for them. Oliver Buff on loan from Zaragoza. Did he get any game time at all, actually? He played a couple of games, 11 games, 6.89, so nothing particularly great from him. And Christian Gonzalez coming in at centre-back was pretty much the same. He got 8 games and a 6.81. He's just a bog-standard centre-back, really. I mean, I would have took control of Rangers myself here to look at these players to get around the attribute masking if there was anything particularly interesting to look at, but they're all just kind of bog-standard players. He's not brought in anybody really interesting. And anybody going out all on loan. So that's all that's happened. So let's have a look at his tactics here. He's played a 4-1-2-1-2 or a 4-4-2 diamond here, which is interesting. Not a lot of width in this team, which means he won't be getting anything out of Daniel Candeias, who I found to be one of the better players in my playthrough. But Bruno Alves has done the job for him, playing lots of games. Declan John as well, is he the starting left back? He does seem to be the starting left back, playing very well. Ryan Jack also playing in there in the midfield, playing very well. I think it must be Jack and Fulton who are in the, oh no, Fulton's in the attacking midfield position, okay. Alan Wick-Wallace Hodgson won't play many games. Herrera and Morelos, and if you thought Ali got a lot of goals out of them, Herrera with 19 and Morelos with 22, still not playing particularly great either of them. 7 million Herrera's worth now. In the league though, nearly a 7 average, 35 games, 13 goals and 3 assists, not bad from him at all. And then if we look at Morelos, he's worth 5.25 now, 26 games, or 26 starts, 15 goals, and almost a 7 there. So he's done pretty well for them as well. Take a look at Rossiter now, he's played 11 games starting, so not bad, and almost a 7 from him too. Fabio Cardozo as well, he's played a lot of games, did okay for them, worth 6.5 million now as well. No really other standout performances to look at here. They did okay. I think that's pretty much what you could say. The most valuable player, Fulton of course, then it's Herrera on 7, and then you've got a couple of ones on 6 and 5. So, the values of the players have certainly went up. Winning that cup probably helped. Candeias is actually transfer listed. Obviously just doesn't suit the tactic there. He's available for 275k. That'll be a huge pickup for him if he gets him. But basically, little pinch of salt on these, they're just a little bit of fun. The game obviously not going to be able to accurately simulate how these guys would really get on, but it's just a bit of fun to see what would happen if certain guys got this position. So I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. If you've enjoyed this one, please drop down below and leave a like. That's greatly appreciated. If you want to follow the series here, see these as they come out, you can subscribe to the channel, which I'd be very grateful for. But overall, just thanks for watching the videos, and I'll see you next time when we take a look at our next candidate.